think we're just waiting for a couple of people to join in so that we can begin. Alright. Hi, welcome to Short Films Adda. My name is Anupama Aggarwal and I'm going to be talking about this latest film, Hangout. It's by my dear friend Kabeer Khurana and it has been released on YouTube on Hamara Movies channel. You can watch it anytime. In fact, it's got about 10,000 views in under 18 hours of its premiere, so it's really something. So today we'll be speaking to Kabeer, who is the director and the creator of this film, and also to the two lead actors, that is Anisa and Arjan. So let's get on with this. So let's have a conversation with Arjan. So I'm adding Arjan, waiting for you to join in. Hi Arjan, how are you?
Hi, can you see me? Can you see me? Yeah, you're a little stuck.
Yeah, I can see you. You're visible. Can you see me and
Cool.
hear me?
I'm not being able to hear you too clearly. So what I'm gonna try doing is just put on my headphones. Can you be a little louder, please? I can't hear you too clearly.
All right, no problem. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, hi. I'm good. How are you? How's it going?
Good. You tell me. So your latest film is out now, Hangout. How does it feel?
Yeah. It feels, it feels really good. It feels really satisfactory because like I said, like we worked in the lockdown, so and like during the lockdown, it was really bleak. Not a lot of work happening. Whatever was happening had shut. I remember I was shooting this film with Rajat Kapoor sir, and we were shooting the day the lockdown got announced. So our second day of scheduled shoot did not happen because of the lockdown, and we had to wait about 5 months to wrap up that shoot. So when Kabeer came to me with this and he pitched the script to me, and I was like, this is such a nice and relevant topic because it like you feel for people, the people who are struggling in the lockdown. Touch wood, we are relatively safer, we are more comfortable, we're privileged is the word. So for those who aren't, like this is an ode to them. This is a little like it's a little ode to them, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, how did it feel to have this entire shooting happen at your home, like so close to your heart?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
was it?
So Um, I remember when I think everyone came home at around 7:30, 7:45 in the morning. The entire crew was here. They entered my house, and literally four to five of them have entered, dressed top to bottom in protective gear with like their PPE kit and their mask and their gloves. So it was almost a very post-apocalyptic kind of vibe, where like it's like, okay, is this the future of cinema? Is this how shoots may or may not be going on in the future? So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty fascinating at the same time. But I mean, we have to work. We can't stop our work completely, right? So we just have to find an alternative. And the way this short film was carried out, we shot for about 14 hours at home itself. And I remember the team, they spent about 2.5 hours just sanitizing my entire house, following the lockdown
Oh,
protocols and following the lockdown protocols and just making sure everything's clean, everything's because I live with my family, so just to be safe. So yeah, it
were
was a
you
lot of
scared or
fun. It was
paranoid or
really
something?
cool. Um, when people started entering my house, I was a little paranoid, but slowly, like when I saw everyone's following protocol, they sanitized all the equipment right in front of me, from the bags to their hands to their clothes once again. So I was put at ease slowly and steadily.
So we could see how easygoing Romy was. How do you
Yeah.
feel like that connects with you as a person?
I think somewhere Romy does connect with me as a person because, like, like how Rumi is. Rumi is easygoing. He's chilled out. Like, he likes to make jokes, and he loves to just. He doesn't take life too seriously, and that's somewhere where I connected with Rumi. The musician aspect is somewhere which was completely an alien concept to me because I've never ever learned an instrument, and yeah, so I feel like the aspect of him where he's like chilled and he's just like, he's happy to have like a drink with him, and he's like, it doesn't bother him so much that work is slowing down because he accepts the fact. It is the hard truth. So yeah.
So did you have to learn the piano for this shoot?
Yeah, so I remember I requested Kabir, I was at him for about a week that, if you please, if you get the keyboard prop, if you get the Casio, just send it over to my house because I have never played an instrument. I don't know how to play instruments. So I need to get comfortable with it. I need to get savvy with it and I need to make it mine, because in the movie, Romy is a musician. He's a frustrated musician, but he's a musician, right? So he's obviously going to be at ease playing his own instrument. And I wasn't because I needed it to feel like mine, right? So I remember 2 days before shoot, what I was doing was through the night, I just put on YouTube on the TV and I was just looking at different pianists performing, videos of pianists performing. And I remember I recorded myself with the background music of a pianist performing and I sent the video to Kabeer of me performing myself. And I remember Kabeer thought it was actually me playing the piano. He's like, bro, I didn't know you know how to play. So that was a little bit like that was really good to see that someone at least like I could at least fool someone. So it's like I'm convincing enough. Yeah.
Or maybe you're just a great actor.
Yeah, exactly. So like I'm not gonna say that, but when someone else says it, it really does feel nice.
So Romy was a musician. His passion was music.
Yeah.
What is yours?
See, you're gonna get the most generic answer. My passion since childhood has been acting. It's always been acting. I worked in a film when I was 10 years old. I worked in My Name is Khan with Shah Rukh Khan, Kajol, directed by Karan Johar. So as a child itself, my passion has only and only been acting. And yeah, I was really into sports, but my parents didn't allow that. My mom was like, "No way, you're missing
Oh,
school." And yeah, I had a lot of tryouts with a lot of Indian football teams, like Mohan Bagan. So my school used to push me ahead for that, but my parents were not too keen on letting me join football. So other than that, my passion has been sports. But because of the Hangout, I really, really, really want to learn how to play an instrument.
nice. So which instrument will
Yeah,
you pick up? Keyboard?
a keyboard or maybe the guitar. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah.
That's nice. So what inspires you to get up every day and be the actor that you are?
I think it's just the passion of wanting to work more than anything. It's not I'm not in it for the fame or the money. It's something I love doing, and it's something I'm privileged with being able to do every day. So for me, it's all about wanting to achieve my dreams because if it's not this, then I would probably do another job or I'd probably join a company or something, but I'd never be internally happy. And if I'm able to just be happy doing what I love, I mean, then it's not a job, it's not work anymore. It's fun. It's what you love
True.
doing.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I just feel like you should be able to chase your dreams. And yeah, I mean, like a lot of people don't get to chase their dreams. So I'm happy I'm not one of those, and I'm happy I can do what I want to do and be happy doing it.
Kabir says The Passion to Want to Work by Arjan Singh.
Kabir is enjoying this.
How was it working with Kabir? That's something I want to know.
Yeah, so Kabir, I've been following Kabir's work since a while, and we've been following each other on social platforms since a while. And I remember I met him at a movie screening. So we had a good chat, but we just spoke about like the movie we were watching and whatnot. So that was fun. But then I remember when Kabir came up to me with this concept, I was I was really intrigued. I was like, yeah, see, this is something that's fresh, right? So it's something that's already so close to us because we're seeing this happening day and night in the news with the migrant workers, the laborers, with the entire scenario that was going on. We saw it happen day and night. So, and when it came to Kabir, we jammed a lot. We never really met, but all of us were just jamming on Zoom. You know, the co-actors, Kabir, the directors, the producers. So we were all on Zoom, and we were all just doing script reads and like jamming together, making something up or the other. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, I remember even the day of the shoot, Kabir wasn't here, right? Because I couldn't have more than 4 to 5 people in my home. So Kabir was directing the entire scenario on Zoom, and the laptop was connected to the camera, so he had the camera's vision on Zoom. And I remember the calls would come from the back. Ki, Arjan, this is how you should be playing, and write this note here, and we'll do it from here. We'll do it from this angle. So I feel it was a lot of fun, and also I feel like when the main goal is the same, like his goal and my goal was to create the best product we can create in this time, right? So when you come from the same passion and the same goal, you tend to just create a better product. You jam together, you work better together. So that was fun, yeah.
So we have a question from the audience. It says, how did you prepare for the role? Did you rehearse with your co-actor?
Yeah, so Anisa and I never met either. We've no one's really met for this short film. Everything was done off a Zoom, like Zoom calls and WhatsApp calls and whatnot. So I remember, I think 2 to 3 days before shoot, we were all just rehearsing for 2 hours, for a couple of hours, just doing the script reads from bottom to top, adding our own little variation. We were just, changing things up a bit. So, yeah, and I mean, before we really shot anything, I just sat on Zoom with Anisa for about 45 minutes, an hour, and we just spoke. Like, I got to know her better. She got to know me. So, yeah, I mean, that's how her and I prepared for this. We just kept jamming together.
And what would you say was the most challenging scene for you as an actor? The silent ones or the ones with dialogues? What was it?
No, I feel for me personally, what was most challenging was the shot where my face wasn't even in it. It was just my hands playing the notes, right? Because I don't play the piano, and I want to get
Right.
exactly the right notes, right? So it was I think we spent the most time as well not focusing on my face or my dialogue or the actions. The most time was spent, at least on my day, to get the note right. But the most challenging short field was when Romy finally finds his inspiration. When so he's someone who's struggling with music, and he finally finds his inspiration when he starts to think about the migrant workers and the laborers. So just putting all of that together, and I had to be so savvy that I even know how to play the piano, and then show that I finally find my inspiration. I think that was really challenging, but overall it was a breeze. It was a lot of fun to work.
So, towards the end of the film, Alia posed a question to Romy about coffee after everything ends. And we never really got an answer from
Yeah,
Romy. So, what do you think the
yeah.
answer would be?
See, I think it's pretty evident. I think the point is that Rumi doesn't expect this change from Alia. At the same time, Alia doesn't expect this change from Rumi, right? So at the end, when she asks him that would you like to get coffee, I feel like he's just taken aback, but he's so happy at the turn of events, right? That even though we're being in lockdown, and she is someone I would never have thought to, go out on a coffee date with, and I'm sure she would have thought the same about Rumi. So the turn of events and the change in character is something that is really nice. But yeah, as Rumi, I think he'd be really happy that Alia asked him out.
That's great. That's great. Uh, there's one more question. When can we see you on the big screens?
Oh,
Yes,
that's
we
just my
really want
friend
to see
messing
you.
around. That's just Amog. Amog is a dear friend. He's just messing around. But hopefully
No,
soon.
but we do want to
Hopefully
see you on
soon.
the big screen.
I need to be there. So hopefully soon. I'm just working hard. I've already shot another short film in the lockdown, and a few more projects are coming. So fingers crossed. Touch wood. Just gonna keep working hard.
Yes, yes. So, thank you so much, Arjun, for this. Uh,
You're welcome. This was a lot of fun. Yeah,
I'm just gonna have to
that's
ask.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So I think since Kabeer is now here, I'm gonna ask Kabeer the next set of questions.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Thank you
Sounds
so
good.
much for this
Chalo.
talk. It was lovely having a chat with you.
Yes. Yes. Thanks.
Thank you. Great. So now I'm gonna call Kabeer to answer a few questions. So we're just waiting for Kabeer to join in.
I'm here. What's up?
Hi. How are you?
Very good. How's it going?
Good, good. So I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of people know this, but Kabeer and I have been friends since first standard. Yeah, and I have seen his entire filmmaking journey from like when he used to make these cartoon posts, comic strips, and then used to put them on a water bottle to like make it animated.
Yeah, those
What
are
a
the fun
long
days.
journey you've had.
Yeah, yeah. So have you. So have you. So have we.
Yeah, we have. So, this latest project of yours, Hangout, which is now available on YouTube. How did you think of this? Like, what inspired you to come up with this story?
So the story, frankly, wasn't mine. The concept, rather, wasn't mine. It came from the producers. So Simran and Ramneek both approached Rohan, who's my partner at Exposition Pictures, and they came with him with a platter of 10 ideas. And Rohan shared those ideas with me, and most of them were very, the scale was too big to execute. So, I proposed the idea of Hangout where we have two characters in two separate locations and we shoot the entire film remotely with a very limited crew of 2 to 3 people on set at max. So that's actually how the idea came into fruition. It was a collaborative kind of process. It was not me single-handedly conceptualizing or coming up with a storyline. It was basically me, Rohan, Ramneek, and Simran. All four of us used to get on video calls every single day. We used to jam and we used to kind of weigh our options, and then we chose on and we settled on this storyline for the film. Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay.
That's sweet. So, how was the brainstorming session since this whole thing was done in peak lockdown? Did you ever meet the people you had to actually brainstorm with?
No, the reason why this film is so novel and so fresh for me, even though it's one of the smallest productions I've done, I think the reason why it's still so special to me is because of the fact that, in fact, none of us actually really ever met. I didn't wasn't there a single day on set. I was remotely directing the actors over Zoom. We had several rehearsals, tech rehearsals, and workshops with the actors pre-shoot. We also had so many sessions with the rest of the team to figure out the technicalities and the flow of events on the 2 days of the shoot. A lot of production work went on at the back end without really me having to really step out, but just remotely direct as to what needs to go where and how things have to really shape up in terms of even the production design, lighting, in terms of the costumes, in terms of performance cues, etc., etc. So everything was done over Zoom, which is actually what makes this film a miracle more than anything else.
And how challenging was it for you as a director to do the whole thing on Zoom?
Frankly, it wasn't challenging. I'd expected it to be, quite a feat, but it didn't feel like a feat because I had such a good team and such a cooperative, very collaborative, enthusiastic team that everybody was invested in this whole journey, right? They were so invested in it that they took it as their own baby. And when people take it as their own baby, they don't look at it as separate from them. It's not alienated labor, for them. It's their own. It's something that they're creating for themselves, right? So when they make it their own, I think then everybody's driven to make it help it materialize and help it come into fruition. So yeah, I think the whole credit to this film, in fact, doesn't go to me. It goes to Pratik. It goes to Raj. It goes to Jatin. It goes to Ida. And of course the other actors, all of them who were there, even the secondary characters. Abhikendu, of course, who has done a fabulous job to take it beyond the finish line. So once it had reached the finish line, after that, it kind of had its own kind of journey, which Abhikendu was responsible for, and I think he's done a wonderful job. So everybody, in the production department, everybody in the direction team, everybody has really, cooperated and helped this film succeed in whatever way it could. Yeah.
Wow. So teamwork makes the dream work, doesn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
So, what is the future for Hangout? Is there going to be a Hangout Part 2 or something else? What is it?
I don't think there's going to be a Hangout Part 2. I'm obviously trying to explore different kind of genres at this point. So no, I don't. As far as the future of Hangout, we were initially trying to develop it into an entire web series, right? Which may still happen, but it will not be a continuation of this. It will be an anthology. It will be an anthology of 6 episodes, where each episode will be separate from the other. So, but it will be a web series of about 6-7 videos, 15 minutes long each. So that is something that is a fruition or an extension rather of this whole idea of lockdown short films that can be compiled and sold to an OTT. But as far as whether it's going to be a continuation, I'm not so sure. No. Yeah.
So, what other challenges did you face throughout the project, throughout the
I think the
movie?
biggest challenge I faced throughout this was dealing with this person called Pratik Kothari, okay, who was the co-director on the film. I am pulling his leg now. He knows it. He's even here on this. I'm sure he's watching, and I love to pull his leg. But I'm still going to say this. Pratik Kothari was my biggest challenge. And the reason he was my biggest challenge was because Pratik Kothari wouldn't pick up my calls. Okay. So I would keep repeatedly calling him. And that guy was just like so adamant on not picking up my call. I used to call him 50 times a day. He used to behave very arrogantly with me. I got very bugged with him, but I still love him so much that I will work with him for the rest of my life. So, no, I'm just kidding.
So
There were no challenges. It was also smooth.
Right. You basically got a match for yourself.
Yeah, I got a
To
difficult.
the people who don't know this, Kabeer is the most difficult person to work with on set. So, like, you guys should be glad y'all never got to meet him.
Have you worked with me, Anupama? When you work with me, na, then we. Yeah, will you work with me, Anupama? No, I'm just asking. Will you work with me?
No, you're
No,
very
you won't.
difficult to
Oh
work with.
shit! Damn it! Okay. Ha.
Great. So then I think I'll ask the next set of questions to Anisa then.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you. Yeah,
All
take
right.
care. Bye bye.
Bye. All right. So I'm just gonna add Anisa. Just waiting for her to join in. Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good too. Anisa, you look beautiful as ever, even in the movie Hangout, your latest film, which is out on YouTube.
Thank you, thank you.
So, tell us about it. How was it? How's the experience of working in lockdown?
Yeah, so it was a little nerve-wracking to begin with. I think we all kind of shared that, when Kabir had sent the script. I really loved the script. I thought it was a really beautiful short piece of a lovely piece of work which just embodies actually what's happening during this time. And it just had a lovely message that we can connect despite the circumstances. So I just felt like I really wanted to do this and be part of it. And at that point, because the crew was also small, I was pretty comfortable. I think it was a bit nerve-wracking, as Arjan said, when everyone entered the house. It was just a bit like, oh God, I hope it's all safe. But they were really, really good. They were very, very well equipped. They came with their gloves and their mask and everything. And Yeah, so they put my anxiety to rest very quickly.
That's great. That's lovely. And how did you feel, letting people inside your home? You showed them how you were doing jhadu and cutting vegetables and everything. So,
I hope I did a good job of it. I genuinely have been cleaning and cooking, but yeah, I know Pratik is making a joke about my chopping skills. The most difficult shot for me was also like with my hands. I had to get my hands through the camera and make this sandwich, and I just felt it was so unnatural. Whenever actors are asked to focus on their hands, we get a little funny. That's why we're absolutely comfortable when the camera is rolling. But when you're asked to do stuff with your body and it's just like shots with your hands, you have no idea what you're supposed to do. So it's really
like,
funny.
were you shaking or something? Were you nervous?
No, it was just because the camera was on my hands and I was restricted, so I could not freely move my hands. I had to fit it through the camera to make sure that the lens was capturing it from above. And suddenly, you become conscious of how do I cut the sandwich? How do I make the sandwich? So it gave us something to laugh about, that's for sure.
That's nice. That's sweet. So you didn't
Yeah.
end up meeting any of your co-workers or crew in real life, right? It was all over Zoom.
Yeah, it was all over Zoom. So other than Kabeer, of course, I had met about a year or 2 years ago. We had met through another actor friend of mine, and I really wanted to work with him. I very much was aware of his work, and he's done some great work. He has like wonderful sensibilities as a filmmaker. So, but that was a long time ago. But so when he approached me with this script, I thought, this is a perfect opportunity. And Pratik, of course, and the other people who were on set, we had met, but no, none of my co-actors. So it certainly was a different experience.
So how did it feel bonding with them online?
Yeah, I think we are that generation, right? We're like the screen culture generation. So I think we're so used to having video calls now with people that there is a certain level of comfort at the same time. But I think it's like a give and take relationship. I've said this before. When another actor is able to still perform, you have something to work with. So it's just about teamwork and working together. And of course, there's some technical challenges with Zoom. Sometimes
Hmm.
it freezes, and the internet connection is not always great.
Tell
But
me about it.
yeah. But other than that, it was really smooth actually.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And another thing that we found as viewers very smooth was how you played the role of Alia. So do you think that that could be because there are some elements of Alia in you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I really relate to the character. I feel um, I consider myself to be a little bit of an activist as well. So I feel her passion for helping people, for serving people was something I could definitely share. I would say that she's so unselfish. I like to think of myself as unselfish as well, but I feel she's even more so, her ability to look beyond her circumstances. So I think it's really inspiring when people are like that, when they really love to help people genuinely. And I think just I could relate to her frustration, when things are not going your way. There is this element of frustration when you can't do anything about it, and I think I could relate to certain aspects. I think she also enjoys reading. There's a shot of me reading Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights. So I think I'm quite an avid reader as well. So there were quite a few elements I could relate to, that's for sure.
What's your favorite book?
I have a lot, but one of my favorites is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. So that's definitely up there on one of my favorites.
Nice. And
Yeah.
what else have you done in your personal life for the social sector?
Genuinely, I'm quite socially active. So in terms of, organizations which are supporting, whether it's charitable organizations, or right now, with the Black Lives Matter movement, I have been speaking about it quite a bit on my personal page, and also through my podcast, which I run, called Unplug with Annie. So I like to speak about these things, just small things which are happening around the world. And I just feel it's very important to give a voice to that, especially as somebody in the public eye. I think we have a responsibility as artists. So I think a bit like Alia, her having a passion for the migrant workers. It was such an important cause, and it still is, of course. But at that time, when the pandemic first hit, they were the people who were suffering the most. And I think just her passion to raise awareness and raise funds for them, I think is just very inspirational, because you're looking beyond your circumstances. Even though she was getting a cut at work on her salary, even though she was stuck at home and without a maid, she was still more concerned about the people outside. So I think that's just a really lovely character trait that she had.
That's true. That's true. So, Alia, tell us something about you're staying in London right now, right? So, how was that
Yes, yeah.
transition during the movie, during the shooting?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm from London. I'm based in London. But India is kind of like second home. Bombay has become like second home for me. So I'm back and forth, and I actually came back out in India in February for some work meetings and some screen tests that I had to give. And then the lockdown happened. So then I was like, okay, kya karna chahiye? I was just like, I'm not sure what I should do. And I'm glad I stayed, because I got to be part of this lovely film called Hangouts. By the way, go and watch it on YouTube if you have not already. But yeah, I'm so glad that got to be part of this, because had I not been there, had I left early, I wouldn't have had the chance. But it was after we shot this film that I flew back to London, and my work visa was actually running out, so I didn't have a choice. I had to leave. But things are a little better here in London. The numbers are stable, so it's a little bit safer here.
That's good to know. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too. You
Thank
too.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, you had to do the dubbing from London itself, right?
So there was a little section which actually it was when I was doing like the cleaning. I had to, the sound was not completely clean, so I had to do the dubbing, that dubbing from London. Um, but it was not so bad. I hate dubbing, to be absolutely honest with you. I really dislike dubbing, because you have to I'm reading Kabeer's comments. I hope we get an Oscar someday, that's for sure. um yeah, and the reason I hate dubbing is because it requires the mindset that you prepare yourself for when you're actually shooting. You're so kind of in it and committed, and you've gone through the journey of the character, that you're so present in that character. So the way that you deliver a line, the tone you deliver it in, it's so connected to the script. And when you're dubbing, so much time has passed, so you worry that how am I going to really embody that character when I'm not there on set. I'm not doing the actions. I'm not. So funnily enough, even Pratik had told me, he was like, do the action when you're dubbing on your phone. Like, make sure you do the action movement of cleaning, so that at least mentally you are there in the same space. And I think that's so crucial. So when you see behind the scenes, when you see actors dubbing, they're very active. They're using their hands, they're using their body, because you're trying to get into that headspace again.
So, do you think you found it difficult to get back to character after that, after going back to London?
I would not say it was not. Luckily, I only had to dub a few lines, so it was not too challenging. But yeah, for a second, I had to think, okay, at this point in the script, what was I feeling? What was I thinking? What was the character's emotion? And what was I doing? It's very different. We're talking right now. I'm pretty relaxed. I'm talking like this. But if I was jogging, for example, and I was talking to you, I would be out of breath, and there would be a different kind of sound, a different
Right.
feel. So in the same way, to try and capture that it's a little challenging.
That's understandable. So,
Yeah.
what was your favorite part about the whole shoot?
I think my favorite part was, I think, there was not a favorite part. I think it's just the whole experience. I think the fact that we were able to pull it off, shoot something during lockdown, like everyone said, like Kabeer said, not all of us have met. I think I'm so happy with the way the film has turned out. I think we're getting really amazing feedback. So thank you to everyone who has watched it. Please share it with people, and continue to spread the love, because we need it. And I really hope that this has created relationships. You do work hoping that you can continue to work with the same people as well. And I think it's such a great team, and it would be really, really lovely for us to do something in the future. Hopefully there'll be no lockdown and we can actually meet and shoot.
So, did you ever think that Alia would, be connect with someone like Romy in the film?
No, not at all. I think as the movie starts, she's a little not aggressive, but I guess in that way, I think I'm a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more of an empath. But Alia's kind of like, what is this guy like? Who are you? She's kind of like, I can't be bothered to listen to your nonsense. So she kind of writes him off. I don't know if it's a judgment, but she definitely feels that little bitterness, I think, towards his privilege and his attitude during the lockdown. And I think, when you are really passionate about making a change, and you take nothing for granted, and you see other people taking things for granted, there's a little bit of not resentment, but you're just a bit like, this person will not understand. And I think that's how she feels towards Romy. So it's really lovely that, the process of feeling that affection towards him is very gradual. And like you said, by the end of the film, she, in fact, asks him to go for coffee. So it's a complete, like, turnaround.
Thank you so much for this amazing conversation.
Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you. And
Likewise, you are
yeah,
stunning
and
in the film and stunning right now as well. And it was a pleasure speaking to you.
thank you so much. Thank you. And please go and watch the film, guys. I hope you enjoy it. We've put our hearts into it. So go watch the film and share it with everyone that you love. Bye.
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 So now that spoken to all three of the important people of this shoot, I would just like to say finally, the film Hangout is up on YouTube on Hamara Movies YouTube page. Please check it out. It is a marvel, especially because it has been created in the peak of lockdown. Thank you everyone for joining this live. Bye. Stay home and stay safe.